Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, we'd like to welcome all of the wonderful devotees who have joined us over YouTube Live, devotees who have joined us over Facebook Live, and dear devotees who've joined us over Zoom. We welcome each and every one of you to this day 6 of Sri Vraja meditations. So today we will actually go on parikrama. We will leave the city of Vrindavan and we will walk to Mathura. And we will camp in every different forest every day of this month. Very exciting times coming up. But before we get into all that excitement, we would like to announce and congratulate the participants of the quiz session from yesterday. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Amrita Radhika, Anjudi, Shimantadvi Prabhu and Vaijayanti Lalita Mataji, Mitanjali Pradhan Mataji, Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu and Barshana Chitra Mataji, Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu and Ananga Mohini Gopika. Thank you all so very much for participating in the quiz sessions. Hare Krishna.
So today we will be discussing Sri Vraja Meditations 2.0, day 6. Why is Krishna called Bhatron Bihari? That's what we will be discussing today. We will walk then from Vrindavan to Mathura, and where we will have the darshan of Shri Radha Bhatron Bihari ji. Then we'll go to Akrura Ghat, where we'll have the, after that, breakfast prasadam at Birla Temple, night stay near the Kishori Raman College in Mathura. And at all these places, we will offer our heartfelt and meaningful prayer at these Lila Sthalis. And then we will end with the glories of Kartik month, some Japa tips with a sweet pastime to enhance our Japa. Yesterday, we completed our Panchakrosha Parikrama around Vrindavan, and we covered the main Goswami temples in Vrindavan town. Today, we will start our Parikrama and continue from Vrindavan and start walking, and we will be camping in Mathura tonight. Today's walk will be around 16 kilometers. So let us offer our humble obeisances before we start our parikrama at the main gate of Shri Krishna Balaram Mandir. And as we see today, since we are continuing from Vrindavan, taking the Vrindavan consciousness and visiting all the different Vraja mandalas, this is the route that we will take. Starting, as we said today, we'll go from Vrindavan to Mathura. But then if you see, after that, there is this whole route of Vraja mandala in the form of a lotus petal. It is said that the entire 84 kroshas of Vraja Mandala, where Krishna performed his beautiful pastimes, is spread and blossomed like a lotus flower, as we see here. And sometimes for Krishna's convenience, this lotus flower, this blossomed lotus flower, sometimes just comes in.
Becomes a bud.
Becomes a bud. To reduce the walking space between from one place to another for Krishna's pleasure. And at all other times, it's in the form of a blossoming, blooming flower.
So this is Vraja Mandala in the form of a beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus. And here is the parikrama, route that we will be taking. This is the map that we will be following for today's entire session. So as we said, this walk today that we will take is 16 kilometers. Now remember, Panchakrosh Parikrama was only 14.5 kilometers. So we are walking a little extra today. So let us be very, very mindful. And when we are offering our obeisances here at the main gate, this is the main gate of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir. We take blessings of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram and all the presiding deities here. We take blessings from Srila Prabhupada. We take blessings from our Guru Vargas. We beg them to allow us to complete our parikrama of Sri Vrajamandala Bhumi.
With this wonderful prayer, pray feeling deeply ecstatic, we start our walk and we arrive at our first destination today, which is the temple of Sri Sri Radha Bhatron Bihari ji.
Hari Hari Bol. So we exit out this Vrindavan city gate, and now we arrive at, chanting, dancing all along the way. We are chanting and dancing, and we come to this beautiful temple of Sri Bhatron Bihari ji. So we all know this pastime. Yesterday we touched upon this pastime of Krishna stealing the garments of the Vrajavadhus. So actually it is said that one time Krishna, he knew that the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani, they had this desire to get Krishna as their husband. So in order to reciprocate with their love, in order to fulfill their desire, one day, early in the morning, Krishna had an early morning pact with Balaramji, who is the keeper of all of Krishna's secrets. And he told Balaramji, Dauji, I'm going now to fulfill the desires of the gopis. Can you just take care of Mother Jashoda and tell her that I have slipped out into the forest early to graze the cows? Please take care. And Dauji said, yes, you go. I'll take care of everything. You go. So Krishna, nicely playing on his flute, he started walking to this place where the gopis were actually performing the Katyayani Vrata. The Katyayani Puja they were worshipping, and Krishna was walking alone. This is even before sunrise. Krishna is walking through the forests of Vrindavan to see the gopis and to fulfill their desires. And here the gopis, in the most coldest month, this Katyayani Vrata was done during the later month of Kartik. So it is November, December time. It's very, very cold. And in that time, in that cold season, the gopis would worship Katyayani Devi. In the cold, freezing temperatures, they would take bath in the Jamuna. And their only prayer was, Katyayani Mahamaye.
Katyayani Mahamaye.
Mahayogini Adhishwari.
Mahayogini Adhishwari.
Nandagopa Sutam Devi.
Nandagopam Sutam Devi.
Patim me kurute namaha.
Patim me kurute namaha.
This mantra is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that the gopis would just recite this mantra, which means that, O Katyayani Devi, you are the beloved of Lord Shiva. Please bless us so that the son of Nanda Maharaj, our beloved Krishna, can become our pati, can become our husband. So with this desire, with this prayer, they would perform this very severe austerities. And on this particular day, Krishna, he arrived at this spot, and to fulfill this desire of the Vrajavadhus, Krishna, he stole the garments of all the gopis. Because it is said, Srila Prabhupada explains, that a woman can only be unclothed in front of her husband. So Krishna is fulfilling the desires of the gopis by performing this pastime. And the gopis, they are actually giving up everything to satisfy Krishna, just for the pleasure of Krishna. So a huge, huge lesson that we learn, that how Krishna, he is the supreme absolute truth. Everyone, everything belongs to Krishna. And the gopis are just signifying this by offering themselves to Krishna. And look at this beautiful picture. It's actually showing how Krishna is actually wearing on all the garments of the gopis and dancing so beautifully over here, fulfilling the desires of the gopis. So then when Krishna fulfilled their desire, the gopis were very satisfied. Krishna promised them that, yes, I am your husband, you are mine, and we will enjoy wonderful rasa dance together. With this promise to the gopis, after satisfying them very, very much, Krishna then left and he came and joined, because by this time the sun had arisen and it was bright morning, and Balaramji had taken care of Mother Jashoda and everything, telling that Krishna had left early. So then Krishna, he came and joined the cowherd boyfriends. And when he came, Krishna, he was feeling one thing. And this is very beautifully explained by Srila Radha Maharaj. The reason why we tell this pastime before we speak about Bhatron Bihari is because it is a very, very significant, important part to this pastime of Bhatron Bihari. Because when Krishna came and joined his friends, it is said that Krishna, he was feeling not bad, but he was feeling that, Radharaman Maharaj explains that he was thinking that he has probably, done something which can be misinterpreted by the worldly people who do not understand the position of Krishna. So therefore, Krishna, he was so, Krishna doesn't have to think like this, but Krishna is thinking like this because Krishna did not want unscrupulous people to take refuge of this Lila of Krishna's and engage in unwanted activities with, with girls. So therefore, Krishna, what he was feeling was a little remorse. He said that what I have done, I should actually fast. Because generally, before Mother Jashoda would, Krishna would leave from the forest, Mother Jashoda would feed Krishna very nicely. And she would give them also nice, yogurt and rice and everything for the entire day that they would, eat during the day. But today Krishna said, no, today I will not eat anything from even the forest. I will not take. The forest is the giver of fruits. Such beautiful fruits are laid up in the forest, in all the trees. So many fruits are there. If the cowherd boys would get hungry, they would just climb the trees, pluck the fruits and eat. So then Krishna, he said, as a repentance, which was not required for Krishna to do, but as a repentance, he said, just to set an example, he said, I will not take anything today from Mother Nature directly, because I may have violated some things of the Mother Nature in the form of stealing the garments from the gopis. So therefore, Krishna did not eat all the fruits, the roots that the forest of Vrindavan had to offer, that Mother Nature had to offer. So when Krishna and the cowherd boys, they were grazing nicely, they were playing nicely, the gopas, they complained that they were hungry.
So Krishna and the cowherd boys, they were very hungry because they had not eaten anything. And when the cowherd boys became very hungry, they asked Sri Krishna about obtaining some food. And he sent them to beg some from a group of brahmanas who were performing a sacrifice nearby. But these brahmanas, they just ignored the boys, thinking, Krishna, Sri Krishna is just an ordinary human being, just a little boy. What can he do? So the boys, they returned disappointed, but the Lord again sent them off, advising them, now go and ask some food from the wives of the Brahmana. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23, it beautifully discusses this topic, how Sri Krishna tells his friends. Text 14, tell the wives of the Brahmanas that I have come here with Lord Sankarshana. They will certainly give you all the food you want, for they are the most affectionate toward me. And indeed, their intelligence resides in me alone. Text 15, the cowherd boys then went to the house where the Brahmanas' wives were staying. There, the boys saw those chaste ladies sitting, nicely decorated with fine ornaments, bowing down to the Brahmanas' ladies. The boys addressed them in all humility, telling them that Krishna Balaram are hungry. Text 19, taking along in a large vessel all kinds of foods, full of fine tastes and aromas, all the ladies went forth to meet their beloved, just as the rivers flow naturally towards the sea. And from a distance, they saw Krishna standing with Balaram under a kadamba tree, and they were completely mesmerized by his beauty.
Text 22 explains in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
Shyamam hiranya paridhim vanamalya barha dhatu pravalanatavesham anavravritam se vinyasta hastamitarena dhunanamabjam karnotpalalakmagulam mukhabjahasam. Krishna's complexion was dark blue, and his garment was golden, wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, springs of flowered buds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves. He was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He was rested, one hand upon the shoulder of a friend, and the other he twirled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears, his hair hung down over his cheeks, and his lotus-like face was smiling. They lovingly offered Krishna, Balaram, and the cowherd boys all the prasadam of rice, dal, sabjis, and completely satisfied them. And here, in this very place where this pastime occurred, we take the darshan of Shri Radha Bhatron Bihari ji.
So therefore, here we see that the Brahmana wives, the wives of the Brahmanas, they just didn't bring fruits and yogurt and things like that. They actually brought rice, dal, sabjis, and a complete feast for all the cowherd boys and Krishna. So here in this place, Krishna actually ate bhat, or rice in the forest. He ate rice, dal, sabji in the forest.
So this temple of Shri Radha Bhatron Bihari ji is on a little hill. And because here at this place, Krishna ate rice, which means bhat in Vraja Bhasha or in Hindi, that is why he's named as Bhatron Bihari. And this very unique name of Krishna also means that Krishna is the protector. Bharta means one who is the protector. So he is literally meaning husband or protector. So he's the Bhatron Bihari. So at this beautiful place, we pray that how wonderfully Sri Krishna accepted to become the protector of the gopis and the devoted wives of the Brahmanas, the Dvija Patnis. May Sri Bhatron Bihari ji, Shri Krishna accept us also, our services as well, and bless us by becoming our protector, the protector of our loving devotion to him eternally.
Jai Shri Bhatron Bihari ki
Jai. So from Bhatron Bihari temple, we walk a short distance and arrive at Akrura Ghat.
So this Akrura Ghat is the place where Akrura stopped before he entered Sri Rajadham. And this place actually signifies the mood with which we must enter Vrindavan Dham. So it is very ironical that Akrura, when he was entering Vrindavan, he stopped here. And when we are going out of Vrindavan, we are stopping here. So anyways, Akrura, he was ordered by King Kamsa to go to Vrindavan and bring Krishna Balaram to Mathura. Kamsa ordered Akrura to do this. So early the morning, the next day, after Kamsa had ordered Akrura to bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura, Akrura prepared his chariot and he set off for Gokul Mahavan. And as Akrura traveled, Akrura was thinking that I am about to attain the great good fortune of seeing Sri Krishna's lotus feet, which are worshipped by Lord Brahma, by Lord Shiva, and by all the other demigods. So although Kamsa, he is an enemy of the Supreme Lord, Akrura was thinking that although he is an enemy, but still, it is actually because of Kamsa that I am able to go to Vrindavan to see Krishna. So he was actually thanking Kamsa that because, although Kamsa, you may be a demon, you may be the worst of persons, but because of you, my dear Kamsa, I am getting to serve Krishna. And Akrura was thinking, all this he's thinking when he's coming on the chariot towards Vrindavan, he's thinking, when I first see Krishna, what will I do? When I see Krishna's lotus feet, what will I do? All of my sinful reactions will be destroyed immediately at once. Just imagine, I am going to see that supreme absolute truth. What will I do? What will I do? I will actually get down from my chariot and I will fall at the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, even though I have been sent by Kamsa for a very evil purpose, because Kamsa ultimately wants to kill Krishna. Akrura knew that. But Krishna, he is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. He knows what is in my heart. And Krishna will definitely not have any animosity towards me. Akrura was thinking like that because Akrura was thinking that I am actually a messenger of Kamsa. So if Krishna wants, he can say, you are my enemy's messenger. You are my enemy too. But Akrura knew that Krishna will not think like that.
So as Akrura thus thought to himself, he arrived at Gokul at sunset, and then he alighted from his chariot in the cowherd pasture, and he just began to roll in the dust in great ecstasy. In fact, in the 38th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is described very beautifully. In text 25, it says, in the cowherd pasture, Akrura saw the footprints of those feet with pure dust. The rulers of all planets in the universe hold on their crowns. Those footprints of the Lord, distinguished by such marks as the lotus, barley corn, and elephant gourd, made the ground wonderfully beautiful. So then, as he was increasingly agitated by the ecstasy at seeing the Lord's footprints, Akrura's bodily hair started standing on end because of his pure love, and his eyes just filled with tears. Akrura jumped down from the chariot and began rolling about amongst the footprints, exclaiming, this is the dust from my master's feet.
Haribo.
And because Akrura was in this highest mood of loving devotion to Krishna and Balaram, we will hear how he was received by Krishna and Balaram when Akrura arrived in Vrindavan during the Japa tips section.
So please stay tuned. So meanwhile, Krishna and Balaram, of course, Akrura was so much in ecstasy that he just couldn't express what he was feeling. He was just crying, just looking at this beautiful lotus footprints of Krishna. So meanwhile, Krishna and Balaram, they were in the forest, and Krishna had, they were grazing their cows. It was almost sundown. But what did Krishna do during the day? Today in Vrindavan, Krishna actually had killed Vyomasura today. And Vyomasura is actually the last demon that Krishna kills in Sri Rajadham. And as Akrura arrived in Sri Rajadham at dusk, when the sun was setting and Krishna Balaram were actually returning from the forest, this would actually be the last night that Krishna and Balaram would be spending with Nanda Baba and Mother Jashoda. Just imagine that this would be the last night, because the very next day, early morning, Akrura is going to bring them to Mathura. So today is the last day that Krishna Balaram will be in Vrindavan along with Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya.
So then Akrura described to Nanda Baba and others how Kamsa had been persecuting the Yadavas and how Kamsa had been treating Vasudev and Devaki so cruelly. And Akrura also spoke of Kamsa's desire to bring Krishna and Balaram back to Mathura with the evil intention to kill them on the pretext of their seeing the bow sacrifice and engaging in a wrestling match. So Krishna and Balaram, they just laughed out loud as they heard this. Nanda Maharaj, he then issued an order to all the residents of Vraja that they should collect various offerings for the king and prepare to go to Mathura. And these young gopis, they were extremely upset to hear that Krishna and Balaram would be going to Mathura. They were just condemning the Creator for separating them from him. And they began to lament. They said, Akrura, you don't deserve your name Akrura, which means means not, Krura means cruel. You are Krura, cruel, not Akrura. Because you're so cruel to be taking Krishna and Balaram away from us. But even as they wept, the gopis, Akrura began taking Krishna and Balaram to Mathura in the chariot. Nevertheless, Akrura, at the bank of Yamuna, he halted the chariot at this very place where we are actually sitting in Brajamandal Parikrama at Akrura Ghat. And then Akrura took the permission to bathe in the Yamuna. And when Akrura saw in the water, when he jumped and dipped inside the water, he saw in the water the four-armed Lord Vasudev. And this four-armed form was dark blue like a fresh rain cloud. Vishnu, he was wearing yellow garments. He laid on top of the lap of 1,000 hooded Anantashesh. And Akrura rejoiced at this vision, and joining his palms in Namaste position, he began to pray to the Supreme Lord in a voice choked with emotion. Akrura, by offering these prayers, by Vandanam, he perfected his life, offering beautiful prayers to the Lord at this Akrura Ghat. And Vandanam is one of the 9 processes of devotional service. This is the pastime of this beautiful temple in the place of Akrura Ghat. So let us take darshan of Shri Krishna Balaram and Akrura here at this temple.
Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Jiu ki
Jai.
Shri Akrura Mahashay ki
Jai.
So this is another close-up that how Akrura is actually taking Krishna and Balaram with him to Mathura. Next, we again start walking and we pass a couple of villages along the way. And when we arrive at a very special place. It is called the Birla Temple. And at this Birla Temple, which is in Mathura, we stop for our breakfast prasadam. So we will all sit down and honor breakfast prasadam here at the Birla Temple, where after this long walk, we are getting nice hot khichdi and fruits that will really satisfy us so much. The hot khichdi prasad is served here so lovingly by the devotees. And after honoring prasadam, after resting for a little while, we proceed through the city of Mathura. We walk towards our camp while we are crossing through the streets of Mathura. And after around a couple of hours of walking, we arrive at our camp, which is near the Kishori Raman College in Mathura. So here we are assigned different tents. So let us all go into our tents. Our luggages have already reached here. So we will now get into our tents and we will just relax till the evening, where evening again, Srila Radharaman Maharaj, Loknath Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and many, many other Maharajas, they will all speak beautiful Krishna Katha, and we will all offer Damodarastakam, Gopi Geet, all these beautiful bhajans for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Damodar Ji. So we will camp here at the transcendental city of Sri Mathura for the next 2 days.
And we must consider ourselves extremely fortunate that in this most auspicious month of Kartik, we are receiving a very, very auspicious opportunity to stay in Sri Mathura Dham, because tomorrow we will cover the special temples around the city of Mathura. We will take bath in the Jamuna Snan, and take darshan of Sri Krishna Janmasthan temple.
Hari Hari Bo. Jai Sri Mathura Dham ki
Jai.
So that brings us to the glories of Kartik. Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas says that Damodar is famous as Bhakta Vatsala, and his month actually imbibes his characteristics. It rewards even a tiny effort with huge results. This is the mercy of Lord Damodar Bhagavan ki
Jai. So in Japa tips, we will discuss a sweet pastime to enhance our Japa. And in this month, we'll share where we meditate upon this pastime before we start chanting our Japa. And by this, we will be able to see that our Japa will be elevated to a different level altogether. When Akrura arrived at Vrindavan at dusk, the sun setting. Now, Krishna and Balaram, they had returned from the forest. Akrura also saw Krishna and Balaram in the village of Vraja going to milk the cows. And Krishna wore, as we see here, Krishna wore yellow garments, Balaram wore blue garments, and their eyes just resembled like lotuses in autumn. One of those two mighty armed youths, which is Krishna and Balaram, the shelters of goddess of fortune, had a dark blue complexion, and the other's complexion was white. And with their fine, sharp-featured faces, they were the most beautiful of all persons. And as they walked with the gait of young elephants, glancing about with compassionate smiles, these two exalted personalities, they were just beautified the cow pasture with the impressions of their feet. And these impressions, they bore the marks of the flag, the lightning bolt, elephant goad, and lotus, as we can see in the picture. And these two lords, whose pastimes are most magnanimous and attractive, they were ornamented with jeweled necklaces and flower garlands, anointed with auspicious fragrant substances, freshly bathed, and they were dressed in spotless raiment. These were the primeval supreme personality of Godheads, the masters and the original causes of the universes, who had, for the welfare of the earth, they had now descended in their distinct forms of Keshava and Balaram. And as they walked, they resembled two gold-bedecked mountains, one of emerald and one of silver, because with their effulgence, they were dispelling the darkness from the sky in all directions. Akrura, he was so overwhelmed with affection seeing this scene that he quickly jumped down from his chariot and fell at the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram like a rod. And this joy of seeing the Supreme Lord just flooded Krishna's eyes, Akrura's eyes, with tears, and he decorated his limbs with eruptions of ecstasies in different places. And he felt such eagerness that he could not speak or present himself.
And Krishna, he immediately recognized Akrura. And Lord Krishna, when Akrura was offering obeisances, Akrura did not know what he was doing. He was just so enamored by the beauty of Krishna and Balaram that immediately, what did Krishna do? Krishna just picked him up close with his hand. And then immediately Krishna embraced Akrura. And when he embraced Akrura, Akrura felt so wonderful in that, universal embrace of Sri Krishna. And he just was able to feel that this is how Krishna actually takes care of his surrendered devotees. And as Akrura stood with his head bowed down, Lord Sankarshan, Balaram, he just, out of respect, he closed both his hands and he welcomed Akrura. And then Balaram said, come inside the palace. And he took him inside, and Krishna and Balaram both accompanied Akrura. And Krishna and Balaram were the perfect hosts. And they asked Akrura, my dear uncle Akrura, we hope that you did not have any trouble in your trip. Was your trip all okay? And Balaram actually offered him a first-class seat and bathed. Balaram himself bathed the feet of Akrura and immediately wonderfully took care of serving him nice refreshments. And if Balaram is serving, we can guess what that refreshment could be. Balaram loves one item, which is, if anyone can type, please type it. We would love to see, what does Balaram like? With his milk, he likes something. What do you think Balaram likes? Varuni, very good. But what is Varuni? It's a 5-letter word. Very sweet. Honey, yes, you are right. So Lord Balaram, he actually served Akrura something that is very, very dear to him. And he served Akrura chilled milk sweetened with honey and with some saffron strands. It was so delicious and so refreshing. Akrura was immediately refreshed from the entire journey. So what a beautiful vision of the transcendental forms of their lordships that we have seen today. We have been blessed to receive of Sri Krishna and Balaram. So Akrura is actually setting the mood for all of us on how we should enter the Dham. In fact, we also enter into our very own devotional hearts every single day in this very way.
Especially when we sit down to chant our japa. If we can have the mood of Akrura, then when we are chanting our japa, Krishna and Balaram will reciprocate with us in that same wonderful way as they have beautifully and lovingly reciprocated with Akrura.
Haribo. So with this, we conclude our session today. Today we will be dedicating our bhajan. Today we will be singing Shri Chaurashtakam in honor of Shri Krishna being the transcendental thief, the greatest butter thief of all. And this wonderful bhajan of Shri Chaurashtakam we dedicate to the family of our dearest Rasika and her wonderful family, our dearest Anjudi and her wonderful family, our dearest Hemangi Mataji and her wonderful family. We dedicate it to our dearest brother, our dearest Bhakti Mataji and Krishna Sharanam Prabhu, our dearest Hari Prasad Prabhu, the family of our most dearest Amrita Radhika, our dearest Keshavi and her wonderful family, and also of our dearest little Mehek. And we also pray for all the Sikandrabad congregation devotees, Hyderabad congregation devotees.
And may the Supreme Lord Nrsingadev grant protection and fearlessness to everyone. We also request everyone to please offer your lamps to Sri Sri Radha Damodar during the bhajan. And it would be wonderful if you can turn on your cameras so that everyone can take darshan of your deities.
Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vraje Prasidham Navanita Chauram Gopanganana Chudukuna Chauram. Vraje Prasidham Navanita Chauram Gopanganana Chudukula Chauram. Aneka Janmar Jita Papa Chauram Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami. Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Chauram Navam Buddhasya Malakanti Chauram Prajashitanam Cha Samasta Chauram Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami. Sakinchanikritya padashritam ya karoti bhikshum patigehahinam kenapyahobhi shanachorayedri drishta shrutovana jagatrayepi Yadiyanama viharatya shesham giri prasad api paparasin ascharya rupo nanuchoraidri drishta shrutovana kadapi Dhanam chamanam chajathendriyani pranam charitva mama sarvameva palaya seko tradhrito vyachora tvam bhakti damna simaya niruddha Chinatsi ghoram yamapasha bandham Vinatsi bhimam bhavapasha bandham Chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham Naivatmano bhaktachitam tu bandham Manmanaseta masarashi ghore karagrihe dukhamane shishvadha labhasvahecho pragare chiraya svachorya dosho chitameva dandam Karagrihe Vasha sada Hridaye madiye Madbhakti papasha Dridadvandhana Nishchala san Tvam Krishna he Shatantarepi Sarvasva chora Mochayami Vraje prasiddham Navanita chauram Gopangananam Chadukula choram Aneka janmar Jita papa choram Choragraganyam Purusham namami Choragraganyam Purusham namami Shri Shri Chaurashtakam ki Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar Jiu ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai
Hari 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 Bol. So before we open up the lines, here are the quiz questions for today. What is the entire Vraja Mandala compared to?
Second, what are the prayers offered by gopis to Mother Katyayani?
Third, name the Srimad Bhagavatam verse where Lord Krishna instructed the Gopas to check with wives of Brahma for arranging for some food.
Why is Lord Krishna called Bhatron Bihari?
Fifth, who is the last demon killed by Lord Krishna in Sri Rajadham?
Sixth, what is worshipped by Akrura when he arrived at Rajadham?
7. 9th, why do gopis call Akrura as Krura?
8th, what form of Lord seen by Akrura underneath the Yamuna river while taking bath?
And 9th, what is one of the devotional service performed by Akrura among the Navavidha Bhakti? Dearest Hari Prasad Prabhu, what fantastic quiz questions. We are so grateful to you for these wonderful quiz questions, Prabhu. Thank you.
So now let us open the lines for questions, comments, reflections, and realizations.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Balram, Krishna Balram pictures are so beautiful, Mataji. Very it's a beautiful story. So, question is, the Brahmanas did not recognize Krishna as the Supreme Lord or anything, but their wives recognized.
Yes.
Why is that? Brahmanas are supposed to be more learned than the wives and everything, but still they were so, they didn't know anything about Krishna. So why is that? Is that a Lila or something?
Yes, it is indeed. Krishna, actually the answer is there hidden in your question itself, that the Brahmanas were very learned and they were very puffed up of their knowledge, their jnana. So although Krishna, Srila Prabhupada actually, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, he one time, he, was, he went to, I'm not sure if it was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or was it Srila Prabhupada. He went to visit one devotee, like a, not a devotee, but a person in Kolkata. And when they would knock on the door, the servant came and opened the door. And, they said, we have come to meet such and such person. And the servant said, oh, my master, he's busy worshipping the Lord. You please sit down for some time. So Srila Prabhupada commented that, if the spiritual master is, coming at your door, you should leave everything and come and worship the spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is Sakshat Hari, he is non-different from Krishna. And he has come and you're making the spiritual master wait. This is a very pseudo devotee. That's the comment that Srila Prabhupada made. So similarly, the Brahmanas here, they were very, very puffed up of their knowledge, of their jnana. And they were doing these ritualistic performances of offering, sacrifice. And here come little gopas, little boys, and they say, oh, Krishna Balaram are hungry. Please give us some food. They were just driven away and said, no, go away. We are doing sacrifice to the Lord, But yeah, Krishna may be hungry. He's not our concern. He's a young boy. Just like if the mistake can be made by Lord Brahma, to just mistake Krishna as an ordinary cowherd boy, what to speak of the Brahmanas? So by Krishna here through this pastime, he's saying that he is not captured by jnana, he is not captured by dhyana, but he's only captured by bhakti, which was, personified by the Dvija Patnis, by the wives of the Brahmanas. So, hope this answers your question, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, beautiful answer. And of course, we did a lot of walking in half an hour from Vrindavan. Very nice. Of course, we had breakfast too. So very nice, Mataji. Very nice picture. Nice explanation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Even in if you see in the Damodarastakam, it says that he was tadiyeshita gyeshu bhaktair jitatvam. Puna prematastam satabhritti vande. That he is, by this pastime of even Radha, the Damodar pastime, he is actually telling them that Krishna is not won by jnana, but bhaktair jitatvam, but by simplicity, simple, humble bhakti is what he is overcome by. And so, yeah, this is not by the opulence, but by simplicity we can overcome Krishna. So here the Dvija Patnis had simple heart and they worshipped Krishna, but the Brahmanas, they seem to be overcome by pride because of their learned. Oh, Krishna, if the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he must have all these different opulences and things
How
like
can
that.
the Supreme Lord be hungry?
Yeah.
They could not relate to that with their jnana.
Thank you, Mataji, for enlightening. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Hare
so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Anjudi?
Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Radhe,
Krishna, Jai
Hare
Jai Shri
Krishna.
Radhe.
Danvat Pranam. Thank you
Dhanavad
so
Pranam.
much for such a wonderful session and so many beautiful slides, beautiful bhajan. It was so beautiful. And today the slides and all was so mesmerizing. And the pastime was very nice. And the way Bhaiya you described the beauty of Lord Krishna and Balram, no, it's beyond words. It was so beautiful. The description was in so much of detail and so beautiful. I could just feel, Krishna Balram, in fact, got emotional also. It was so beautiful, so mesmerizing. Thanks for all the Japa tips, the stories connected, the way you have connected them. It's so nice. Bhagavatam also, everything interconnected. So at least we are getting more aware and more knowledgeable, and we can relate to the pastimes. Thank you for everything. And
Thank you.
today you arrived in my hometown, Mathura.
Yes.
So I was more happy.
Yes.
So in the hometown, so I said, okay, fine. Physically, I can't be there, but yes, mentally and everything, I can be there. I really wanted this time to be over there in Kartik Mass after hearing all the glories, but it's still we feeling that we are there only.
Jai.
I just wanted to ask one question.
Yes.
After hearing this, I have generally, I might be very, very wrong also. I've always seen that generally the Rishi Munis and all, when they used to get angry, they used to give a curse or everything. But I've not seen, I've seen in Ramayana also, and then Krishna also. So Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, they never used to give any curse, right? They were
If Krishna curses, we are done for. We will cease to exist. Krishna, with one curse, we will finish, gone. We have no hope. I mean, we can see but Krishna did. Sorry, Didi, sorry to interrupt. Please complete your question.
No, except I remember to Shishupal or some very few, but
Yes.
I don't remember exactly that, now the Brahmins, they didn't serve food. So he doesn't he says, okay, go and get the thing. So he's very cool about it. He's that's what they say. He's
ब्राह्मणों ने दिया उनकी पत्नियों को जाके के मांगो वो दे देंगे.
Yeah, so it was so thing. But other Rishi Munis, oh, उन्होंने नहीं दिया तो फिर उनको ये बन जाएंगे, वो बन जाएंगे. It's something like that. So that's why I just wanted to what was the reason? Because he's the Lord, he's the supreme personality of God. He just wanted to give chance to everyone, or to offer him.
That is
he's
true.
very merciful.
That is true. This is the mercy of Krishna, because you see, Krishna is so wonderful that if he actually starts keeping grudges, then all of us are under Krishna's curse, because we have actually forgotten serving him. We have forgotten him. So if Krishna wants to curse, he actually should curse each and every one of us. But you see, Krishna, he is such a personality that he does not take offense when someone offends him. Anyone can say anything to him, Krishna doesn't bother. He just does not bother. But if anything is done to his devotees, to that person, Krishna will not forgive. That is Krishna. We see in the case of the Pandavas, Ashwatthama, what he did. He came and killed the sleeping sons of Pandavas. Such heinous crime, even from normal humanitarian grounds, a Kshatriya principle, from every point of view, what Ashwatthama did was crime. It was sin. It was heinous what he did. And Krishna cursed him. Krishna cursed him. But when so Krishna was so angry. So Krishna actually cursed him. That he said that, you have this nice money, that is, you have this nice gem that is shining on your forehead. I am taking this gem away, and here you will have a wound that will melt your body for all eternity. Your body will start melting. Then, the Pandavas and Krishna, they actually brought, they captured Ashwatthama and they brought him to Draupadi. And Mother Draupadi, she was so merciful. She was so kind. She's so compassionate. She immediately forgave Ashwatthama, saying that he may not be a Brahmana, but he is a Brahmana Putra. He is Guru Putra. He is the son of your spiritual master. So let us forgive him. And as soon as, Draupadi, told Krishna to forgive, Krishna said, fine, you are saying I will forgive him. And then he was given, he's supposed to be the next Indra, is that Ashwatthama?
Vyasadeva.
Sorry. Yes, he's going to be the next Vyasadeva. That was the benediction that Ashwatthama received. Krishna did give him a curse, but then he gave him a benediction also, that he'll be the next Vyasadeva. Such an elevated position. So
the other thing is that one of this quality of Krishna, of forgiveness, is what actually makes him attractive to us. Yes. Because he is all powerful. He is all strength, all beauty, all knowledge, all of this opulences that he has in full and best. So if he was not forgiving, if he didn't have this forgiving nature, everyone would be afraid to approach him. Because it'll be like, whoa, he's the most powerful. And if I approach him, he can give me a lot of things, but there's a lot of risk. What if I offend a little bit? I'll be destroyed. I don't want to approach him. Let him be the powerful in his own way. Because if in relationships, the biggest quality in sustaining a relationship is forgiveness. Without forgiveness, there can be no relationship. Because there are so many hundreds of reasons that we can find to, have some grudge against someone. But forgiveness is the only thing that will sustain relationship. And we can approach Krishna and he becomes attractive to us or cool to us because he is so forgiving. He's the supreme, but still forgiving. If you imagine if he was not forgiving, it would be very difficult for us he will not be attractive. Even he may have all the strength, all the knowledge. We'll say, okay, you keep your knowledge and strength. We don't want to have any relation with you. If whatever you want us to do, we'll do. But Baba, I just have to be careful. But because he's forgiving, we have the guts to at least approach him, perform some devotional service to him with the faith that we know we will make so many mistakes, but he will, if we pray to him, he will forgive us.
And if we have sincerity, if we don't take undue advantage of his forgiving nature, then Krishna always has a way that he can rectify us. We have a hope.
All the different things that we have done throughout our lifetimes, he is the witness of that. We may not remember, but he knows everything, what we are, what we have done so many lifetimes ago or whatever. But still he's keeping on giving chances, keeping on giving chances. That is the meaning of love. Love means unlimited forgiveness.
So beautifully, so beautiful. Love means unlimited forgiveness.
Yes.
Very, very beautiful.
And that's why Krishna truly loves us. We have offended him, so many others, and his dear ones so many times. But he's, okay, forgive. For forgiveness, there is no reason. If you try to look for a reason to forgive. Why should I forgive this person? We will never find any reason. There is no reason good enough to forgive someone except the fact that we love that person and we want to forgive that person. We want to give another chance again and again and again. And that comes out of true love. And Krishna has that quality. That's why in little bit, we also have that quality. And if we can also develop that, cultivate that quality of forgiveness, at least for the purpose that Krishna has been so forgiving to us. If someone has offended us, let me forgive so that Krishna can forgive me. If I have grudge with even one person, then I may not be able to go back home, back to Godhead. So let me forgive, understanding that this is Krishna's plan, and just go according to that. Then we become attractive to others and we become attracted to Krishna as well. Then Krishna forgives us more and more. If we forgive others, he will forgive us more and more. Of course, that's a motivated thinking, but still, that's a fact.
Very beautifully explained. So many takeaways in this. Very, very nice. Yeah, that's why I also like, sometimes I feel like, when we were very, very young and like you're being Brijvasis, I don't know, especially my dadi, she used to say, he never used to say Krishna and all in Mathura. They used to say Lala. So he said, Ja Lala ko bhog laga de, ja ye kar de. So they used to take it so coolly, So
Yeah.
we also grew up like, like, okay, fine. Like Krishna is ours only and this, okay, fine. So many times I used to just put bhog and stand outside. And I used to get it in not even in a minute, less than a minute, because I wanted to eat that thing. And she used to tell me, "Jao bhog laga ke fir khana." And I used to just wait at the gate of the thing and just offer and come. I said, "ठीक है, खा लेना भगवान जी, अभी फटाफट मुझे खाना है." It is like so like unknowingly and so. I think it's only the our bhav, the thing. Only he's just hungry, and what you said is so beautiful. That when he offends the devotees, then he and just now Bhaiya explained so beautifully that the way we should also be forgiving everyone and life becomes so beautiful and easy then. Otherwise, we just keep the grudges and then actually we are punishing ourselves only. We are not punishing anybody
Exactly.
when we had the thing. Because that person must have forgotten, they said and over and done with. But we are just carrying that baggage with us and multiplying and just
Very true. Very true.
and getting into depressions and all these things. So I think, yeah, it's very easy. Forgive and forget.
Yes. Move on.
Move on. Thank you so much for explaining so beautifully.
Thank
Hare
you. Thank you so much for the fantastic question. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri
Hare
Hare
Radhe.
Krishna.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare Krishna
Any other?
Mataji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam Prabhu.
Krishna,
Dhanavad
Sulochana.
pranam.
Hare Krishna.
It's a wonderful, wonderful lectarian lecture, Mataji. Superb lecture. Hari Hari Bol. Especially you both are taken away to Rajadham, Mataji. Akrura came to Raja to pick up Krishna Balrama feels. I feel Krishna Balrama leave Raja. I feel like that, Mataji. Hari Hari Bol. It's a wonderful lecture along with paintings. Everything was good. And Krishna Balram paintings also beautiful, Mataji.
Thank
Mataji,
you.
I hear so many times about Brahmana Patni Lila and read about. But the cause why Krishna didn't take Prasadam on that day, particular day. What was the point, Mataji? Krishna garments, you said that one. Please tell me again,
Yes.
Mataji.
Yes, the point is that Srila Radharaman Maharaj explains that the reason why Krishna did not take any prasad from the forest or from what his mother gave, he did not eat any of that, because he said that this is a form of my paschatap or my repentance, for a so-called immoral activity that I may have done, by stealing the garments of the gopis. So that is why Krishna did not eat or accept any fruits that day from the forest of Vrindavan, from Mother Nature. So he said, just to set a standard for, people who may misunderstand this pastime and, take any other kind of meaning for this pastime. So therefore, Krishna this is one of the reasons Maharaj explained that Krishna did not eat any fruits that day, because generally in the forest, Krishna never eats rice dal sabji. He never eats that. He just eats only fruits whole day, and yogurt and chipped rice, like snack items he eats during the forest time. And most of the time he's just playing and he's grazing with the cows. But that day, even in the morning, he didn't eat because Mother Jashoda, couldn't get an opportunity to feed Krishna. Krishna had left so early in the morning. Na? So he was very hungry. He was extremely, because by the time Krishna came to the cowherd boys, it was almost around noon time. After finishing up, his Lila with the gopis, he came, it was almost noon. So he was very, very hungry, fasting till noon. But still, even though he was fasting till noon, he didn't accept any fruits. But he wanted to also give special mercy to the Dvijapatnis, to the Brahmanas' wives. So that day, that's why he nicely ate rice, dal, sabji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, how Akrura known Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
How Akrura knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Yes, yes.
I mean, he is a natural devotee. He is uncle of Krishna, and because of all of that, everyone knows the pastime of Devaki and Vasudev, and how there was the Akashvani, where it was said that there is a son, and then also Akrura knew that when Kamsa, because he was always in Mathura, he was always with Kamsa, that when Kamsa took the daughter of Yashodamai, which was transported in near Devaki, when he was trying to throw her, she slipped from the hand, and she said, the person who is going to kill you is already born. And at that time he understood that he is there as Krishna. So he was the friend of Vasudev, he was the friend of Nanda Maharaj. So Akrura was not, although he was in Mathura with Kamsa, but his heart was always, because of the association of Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj and everyone, these people knew, those who are close to Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, because they told, Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev told that this has happened. And with the symptoms, then they can understand that this is Krishna.
Narad Muni also would come to
Yes.
Mathura. In fact, Narad Muni came and told Kamsa directly. The reason why this particular time, if you read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, the reason why Kamsa sent Akrura to Mathura, to Vrindavan to get Krishna Balaram is because of Narad Muni. When Narad Muni couldn't wait anymore, because the devotees were in so much anxiety, in Mathura, that the people of Mathura were being tortured by this cruel Kamsa. So Narad Muni was not able to wait that Krishna, enough of your enjoying in Vrindavan, enough of killing, 2-3 demons every day. Now you come and destroy this Kamsa, come and finish this Kamsa. So that's why Narad Muni came to Kamsa's court, and he came and said, what are you doing? You're, this is absolute truth. Supreme Person is there in Gokul. Go, bring him here. You can't keep sending your demons. They'll do nothing. He'll kill all of them. You bring him here and try to kill him here. Narad Muni instigated Kamsa in this way.
So Akrura knew all of this. And from this, those who are devotees at heart, they will understand all these symptoms. Obviously, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many demons, Kamsa also knew in his heart that Krishna is Supreme Personality. Big, big demons. No ordinary person or even extraordinary person can kill such demons. So he had that suspicion. This is that same guy. It looks like that. My suspicion is growing. And a devotee like Akrura, when he saw, he was like, yeah, this is the Supreme Personality.
No doubt.
Prabhu, one more question, Prabhu. Japa tips are very beautiful, Prabhu. But I'm starting with Japa. First round, second round is better, but for doing so many rounds, quality of the chanting is come hota hai. So
Hmm.
prayerful mood come hota hai. First praying Japa tip legend stories, everything was falling down, and my mood always want to complete the rounds, complete the number, and doing like that, and household works, everything. So how to praying mood from starting down to last round, last bead, how to increase my praying mood and my quality to Japa, how to pray.
So that's a very nice question, very sincere question. If you are chanting, sitting and chanting in one sitting, you are finishing 16 rounds. That is very nice. And then it happens that it'll increase, decrease. Even if you are breaking it and chanting throughout the day, it still happens. But it's best if we do in one sitting. So sometimes some devotees, what they do is after every 4 or 6 rounds, they take a break from chanting and they open and read some quotes on glories of chanting. There is this book called Japa book by Bhurijan Prabhu that you can open any page, and if you read a page, it'll again inspire us to, oh, okay, and then we chant again. So take maybe a 1-2 minute break and read maybe one page of Krishna book or one page of Japa, or there are many books by Bhurijan Prabhu, many books by um, Namamrita, which has the Prabhupada's quotes, also by Sachinandan Maharaj about chanting. So if we just open any page and read that one or two pages, then go back to chanting. So that way, when it's coming down, after reading, it will go up again. Then it'll again come down. Then again, after 4 or 6 rounds, again you read, again it goes up. But don't spend too much time reading in terms of, maximum 1 or maximum 2 pages. Uh, After that, the goal is to improve the chanting. The goal is to chant and like that.
So one other thing that we personally also do is dedicate our rounds. Like first round, we dedicated to, imagine the Ashtasakhis and Radha Madhava altar, So if you're imagining the Radha Madhava Ashtasakhi altar, then the first round you dedicate to Sudevi, then to Ranga Devi, then to Chitra, then to Champakalata, then to Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Tungavidya, like that, and then to Srimati Radharani, and then to Sri Madhava. That way you finish your 10 rounds. So every round at the head bead, we are saying, we are just imagining, okay, this round is for Lalita Sakhi, this round is for Vishakha Sakhi. Like that, we dedicate our rounds to each personality, to each deity. And then the next 5 rounds, we dedicate to Panchatattva. One to Srivas Thakur, one to Gadadhar Prabhu, one to Advaita Gosai, one to Nityananda Prabhu, one to Mahaprabhu. That way we finish 15 rounds. And the 16th round we dedicated to Lord Nrsingadev. So this way, very wonderfully, with the dedication, because when we are dedicating, we are, meditating, we are concentrating. It helps when we are dedicating our rounds and trying to chant our japa. It helps.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Hare.
Hare, wonderful question.
Beautiful, Mataji. Prabhu interpretations about Krishna Leelas. It's a canvas painting beautifully. Superb, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sulochana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji. And with
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Prabhuji, are you comfortable now?
Yes,
okay?
yes, I'm comfortable.
I'll finish it 2 minutes. Don't worry, Prabhuji.
No, take your time. Take your time. It's always wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a wonderful session and the beautiful bhajan, my favorite bhajan, Chaurashtakam. Because whenever singing this song, I feel like Krishna is not stealing the butter, he's stealing all of our heart. So that I understood. And the mood of Akrura also you explained very nicely, Prabhuji Mataji. So when we go to Vrindavan, we need to set the mood, same mood how Akrura ji had, right? So we need to have that one to worship Radha, Krishna and Balaram, everyone. And so many life lessons which you said in the question answer session, Prabhuji and Mataji, because I first time I hear, if we do anything, when spiritual master arrives at our door, we need to leave everything and we need to approach our spiritual master. because you quoted, right? Sakshat Haridvena, you said that as I liked it. And I have that, I mean, you answered my question because so many people hurted me and my family members. Today morning also I get the thought, I will never forgive. But you said now, I will forgive, Prabhuji. I'm not keeping anything in my heart. Because of you both, my heart is now just very, very light. So I'll forgive everyone. And you told very beautifully, like Krishna loves us, right? In every word. So that make me to get tear because I'm not reciprocating to him. I'm not thinking about him always. I'm not doing service much to him. So I feel very guilty, but I'll practice whatever the way you suggest, right? I'll practice my bhakti. I'll do my sadhana bhakti properly with more sincerity. I need to improve myself, so that you are helping both of you and taking the parikrama also very wonderful. And so much. Thank you so much. There is no words, Prabhuji and Mataji. Day by day, your session is enlightening, enthusiasm, and enrichment for us. 3E, you said, right? 2020.
Yes,
I still
yes,
remember.
yes. That's the association of devotees.
Yeah, still it is in my heart. You said, Prabhuji and Mataji. It's really helpful us. It is really, really helping us. I think we can set a proper mood in this Kartik month because of you both. I feel it's my personal opinion. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Dandavat
Thank you
pranam.
so much, Prabhu. We are so very grateful to you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? If not, we can continue tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Amrita Radhika. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna
much for the
Mataji,
wonderful
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Keshvi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna
Dandavat
Mataji.
pranam. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Radha. Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri Radhe.
Radhe. Jai.